Voices of the Village is brought to you by the Greg Olson Local History Room, a treasure chest of Ridgefield Park history.
What is your name, occupation, or prior occupation?
My name is Theresa Heidel. My maiden name is Theresa Troyes. I am a piano teacher and artist, and I teach in town here, both watercolor and piano.
How long have you resided in Ridgefield Park?
My whole life, which is many years.
Did you attend any of the local schools, and what is your fondest memory?
Okay, I attended Lincoln School and Roosevelt School, and my fondest memory in Lincoln School was Miss Ziegler, who was my art teacher. And she used to come in with the big bangles and the big hoop earrings and little permanent, and she came in with a big stack of papers, and every week I couldn't wait for her to come. That was my fondest memory.
What is your favorite thing about living in the village?
I love to walk through the village. My husband and I take walks almost every day, and it's beautiful with the big trees. Of course, we're the only ones out, unless somebody's walking a dog, but it's very nice to walk through this town, and I think we should maybe start a walking campaign here.
How would you describe Ridgefield Park to a non-resident?
I would say it's very easily accessible to be able to walk downtown to your stores. It doesn't have strip malls. It's got a more of a very close-knit feel, and everything about it is beautiful. I mean, any street you walk down is picturesque with the trees. I think the trees add a lot to it.
How has the village changed over the years?
I think that what happened was when I was a child, I mean, downtown was the place to be. You could go to all the different stores, many, many stores. We had grothiers, we had the ice cream shop, we had 2 bakeries that were magnificent. I think it's changed in the way that you don't see that too much anymore, the small stores, even the 5 and 10. It was nice because you could go with your friends and take a walk and go into these stores and hang out, and it had that feel to it, definitely, in the past.
In your opinion, what makes the village unique?
I think my opinion is that it still has the small town feel, I think. I mean, compared to other towns, it doesn't seem to me, the vibe in this town does not seem to be competitive. It's like everyone here is friendly, mostly friendly, and we kind of cheer each other on in a way as a unit, more than individuals.
Is there anyone from Ridgefield Park that has influenced you? If so, who?
Oh, so many people. The list goes on and on. First of all, my family, because I grew up in a very cultural family. We had music and art all the time, especially music. My parents were musicians. My dad sang at church in St. Francis and also in St. Patrick's. He was a singer there, St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York. And my mom was an opera singer who, in her younger years, sang in an opera company in New York, the Art of Musical Russia. She actually became very fluent in Russian, and so that whole influence in my childhood was lots and lots of classical music and a very strong foundation in piano and music. In my school, there was Miss Ziegler, then there was the art teacher, then there was Carol Jo Schroeder. I don't know if you're familiar with the name. Anyway, Schroeder's were long-time people who lived here, and my mom was her teacher in piano, and she actually went to Trenton State and became a music teacher and taught in Lincoln School. She used to play these records, but that had stories to them, and she would always talk about like different composers, like Saint-Saëns, who wrote Danse Macabre, which is about the skeletons dancing in the graveyard. And when you're in 4th grade, that makes a big impression. So she would make everything have a story to it. And then there was also my brother's girlfriend, Bonnie Kraft, who actually lived on Union Place near us, was a great artist. And as a little child going into her place, I'd go in and visit her on her porch, and she'd always have an easel up with beautiful artwork on it. And so that was an inspiration. And also there was Rita Lau, who just recently passed away. And they were magnificent. Some of these, being a young child, you look up to these people who can play so beautifully. They presented themselves beautifully, and it had a nice air of formality a little bit more, and they gave a culture to this town. And years later, I would run into somebody in the IGA, let's say, and say, I remember your mom, and if it weren't for your mom, I wouldn't have known about these composers, and so it was kind of good that we had some cultural influence.
If you had to tell one story that captures the essence of Ridgefield Park, what is it?
I'm not sure I have a story to say, but I'd say different small things, but actually big things. Well, there's the Ragamuffin Parade that was part of my childhood. My mom dressed me up in somewhere over the rainbow, and she made this big rainbow dress, and I won an award, which was surprising. And it was nice because it had a small town feel to it. Everyone went, and it was at nighttime and had magic. And then there was also, of all things, there was an international supper at the high school. And they used to have Polish food. They'd have all different Swedish meatballs and things like that. They had little flags in each table, and we'd go and we'd load up our plates and have like all these different goodies from different countries. And I don't know, we should do more of that, I think.
Ridgefield Park is well known for its 4th of July celebration. Have you ever participated in the activities?
Yes, when I was in high school, I was in the marching band. So definitely I was in those parades. Yes, when we had uniforms.
Are there any other local traditions or events in the village?
In the village, well, at the high school, they have wonderful performances by the students who play there. Like some of my students actually play keyboard down there, and so I go and attend. Those have gotten really, really good. I mean, not that they weren't good in the past, but they're really, really good. And that's what I can think of offhand.
Are you currently involved in any programs or organizations in Ridgefield Park?
No. I think, I have my own studio, so that's my contribution to the town, is that I run a studio that people come for a reduced fee, actually, and they learn to play in front of people, make speeches, and they learn this. They do very well. And art also, we have art shows.
Is there something you'd like to share with our viewers?
Yes, a couple of years ago in 2024, I was nominated to be the Artist Laureate for Ridgefield Park, which was a great honor for me. And I had a show at the library here. I was trying to think how I could contribute, so a good percentage of my sales went to the library. It was a wonderful opportunity for me. This is the house I grew up in Ridgefield Park. Is where the Marlborough House is now. In the backyard, the yard was immense. It extended all the way back to, if you go to the library, if you go to the Marlborough House, where the end of the parking lot is where our property went to. And in the back is a barn back there, and my mom had her studio here. These people on the porch are friends of my mother's. There's Charlotte Steinmetz. Charlotte Steinmetz was a wonderful seamstress and a friend of the family's, and she made my wedding gown. She sewed my wedding gown. And there's Anna Marcus and Dexheimer, Gretchen Dexheimer. And my mother is there. And then here is my brother Paul. I'm in the car with my older brother and my dad. And also in the barn, we used to store things in there. And my dad had a good friend in this city. His name was Henri Lamotte. And he was an artist who lived in this city with his wife, who was a puppeteer. She was from Denmark. And he used to come to visit us in his big van there. And by the way, he's in the Guinness Book of Records for diving off the Flatiron Building in New York. This is true. He was a friend of my dad's, and his wife used to store her puppets in our second floor of that barn. And they were these handmade German puppets, like wooden. They're kind of a little bit scary for, like with witches and things, like that. And we used to get really scared. We'd run upstairs and look at these puppets. And actually that's our little pet rabbit there, McGillicuddy. There he is. Yeah. And then, so we really had a lot of feel to it, like I don't know, a small town feel that you don't really find anywhere else. It didn't try to be something else. It didn't try to be a big academy with lots of competition and all that. It was just it was perfect for a town. So that was our house. And now it's gone, sadly, but there's the Marlborough House, which is beautiful, but I miss my house, and the yard was immense. We used to play baseball back there with the bases. Yes. And we had fruit trees. I think it used to be a farm. It must have been a farm at one time.
Do you have any other memories of Ridgefield Park you would like to share with us?
I remember cabbage night. You'd be afraid to go out because you'd get hit on the head with like a sock with flour in it. It was a little, and they used to paper up the town with toilet paper and things like that, and spray foam. They would go along and spray the cars with foam. But I don't know, it was just full of character. Mm. And then we went trick-or-treating. We used to go, and it was fun. I mean, nowadays, I don't know, I think they're afraid to send kids out trick-or-treating, or, but it had a real homespun feel to it that I love.
Yep. In just one word, what does Ridgefield Park mean to you?
Soul. It has a soul. It's my home, and it'll always have a soul and stand out from other towns because of that.
In 2025, Theresa donated her painting of the old Ridgefield Park High School to the Greg Olson Local History Room. In this segment, she shares memories of the school.
I went to Ridgefield Park High School. We were the first graduating class from the new high school, so we were actually the last class to be in this high school. And I remember we had my fondest memories, or two memories, actually having art lessons up in the tower with Miss Burrows, the art teacher from England, and also the pep rallies in the big auditorium. The big auditorium was a massive, beautiful auditorium with red velvet curtains and chandeliers and a balcony. And I remember, being a freshman, feeling so lowly while they were stomping the seniors with seniors rule kind of thing. But the pep rallies were just awesome in there. So that stands out to me. And then we had the magazine drive. So many fun things we did, which we sold magazines and got little stuffed animal toy awards. And it was fun. I mean, everything about it had a wonderful personality. The music, the choir, the melodiers were fantastic. The melodiers are a very selective group of people. It's actually hard to get into the chorus. You had to try out. You couldn't just show up. And the art classes were just great. Mrs. Hoffman, Dorothy Hoffman, wonderful, wonderful lady, very encouraging. So all of those things added up to a marvelous experience.
Did you draw that picture?
Yes, this is a painting I did of the high school as a memory, and that's the tower there. And there was always these great words like the rotunda, which, is the round area where people, went and gathered. But here up in the tower, we had our art classes up there. So it's very unique.
Thank you, Theresa Heidel, for participating in Voices of the Village.